addiction. So, as Pastor Anil shared, I did my theological studies from Faith Theological Seminary, Vankana. And I was pastoring a church in Bangalore, and in the meantime, I got an opportunity to study psychology. During my seminary days itself, I had a passion towards counseling, and God guided me in such a way, and I did my psychology studies during those days. And later I was ministering to a group of Hindi community in Kochi itself. And in the meantime, I got an opportunity to practice counseling in Mylapura. And for the past 6 years, I am continuing with this counseling as God guides me, helping and reaching out, especially to the youngsters and youth. Throughout India, we have clients coming. Actually it's a residential center. We have people coming all throughout India, throughout different parts of the world, seeking help at different times, different difficulties as they face in their daily life. So we have a de-addiction week in Agape, and God helped me to deal with many people who have been addicts and who have been facing different issues in regard to substance abuse. So addiction, even though it has just 9 letters, it is a very broad term. So addiction has different types, and today we are particularly focusing on drug addiction. So addiction, other than drug, there are recently lots of stuff called mobile addiction, social media addiction, behavior addiction, pornography addiction. Lots of types of addiction are being found out and dealt in these days. But today we are focusing on, we are trying to learn what is drug addiction and how we can be partake, how we can do something to help someone who is into addiction, maybe in our society or in our churches or in our families or the places we go on in our days to come. So what is your concept or understanding about addiction? What is addiction? What do you think? No idea. You are hearing this term for the first time. No. You know something, right? So what is addiction? To be a slave. Very good. To be a slave. Anything else? If you murmur over there, I cannot listen. If you speak it loud, I can listen and I can share with the other. Okay. To be a slave, that's a well description. Anything else you know about addiction? Now, as Dr. Peter said, no, it is not that we should not use a thing or we should not. No, living a life without mobile or social media is something very difficult. But when can we know what is the situation that a person leads to a phenomenon called addiction? So if you want to understand or if you want to find out whether you are addicted or not, you need to sort out 2 things. The first thing is that particular substance or the particular habit is controlling you. The second thing is that when that particular habit controls you, you lose your own self-control. For example, if you are using a mobile phone or social media, if you are using social media in the time that you need to attend your class, or if you are using mobile phone in the time you have to present in the chapel, at some point it is not controlling you. And if your teachers and if your colleague says that, hey, why are you doing this? Come to the chapel, come to the classroom. And if you are getting angry, that means you are losing your control and that particular habit is controlling you. So when it comes to a substance addict, it is a bit more clear. one comes to a position or a phase called addiction at the time that a substance takes control over him, that he loses the control over the use of substance, and slowly, while he uses the substance, he loses control over himself. To make it more clear, for example, you have different substances. You are aware of alcohol, you are aware of cigarette, marijuana, and many other synthetic drugs. You may be knowing about it. So, for example, if say a person is using alcohol, so using alcohol can be done in different ways. There are lots of people who do something called social drinking, and it is not a healthy practice because any drug product being produced by the company itself has a label. It is injurious to your health. If you buy a packet of cigarette, it is written, it is injurious to health. Smoking is injurious to health. If you buy a bottle of alcohol, the outer cardboard and the inner bottle has a label, alcohol is injurious to your health. So, it is injurious in itself, whether the person is having a style of social drinking or he is an addict. But what makes difference between both of these is that the one who is into addict slowly starts increasing the amount of usage the very next time. Taking a puff for the first time, making it 2 for the second time, making it 3 for the third time, and it keeps on increasing. Having 1 plug of liquor for the first time, making it 2 the second time, 3, 4, and it goes on increasing. So the first thing is happening, but the drug is controlling you, or you lose the control over the use of that particular substance. The second thing what happens is that when you keep on using this and the amount keeps on increasing, slowly that substance makes control over you. The way you speak, the way you behave, the way you interact with others, and it becomes a big problem in the society and in the family and everywhere. To make it more simple, let me share an example or a real story that happened a few years back. So when I was doing my MPhil studies, I had an internship in one of the centers in Kotte. So I met a guy who was 19 years of age at that time. So he was a very young guy, but even though he was 19, he looked to be someone like 30 or 35. All of his facial skin got wrinkled and his eyes got deep inside, and no, he was not so smart in looking as such. So, while I was speaking to him, the first statement that he made to me is, "Sir, I have used everything that is available in this world." Just 19 years of age. I have used everything available in this world. But sir, all of these things takes us to a fantasy world for some time. But after a short time, we are coming back to the real world. And when we come back to the real world, it is a big struggle, sir. I cannot survive in this real world. Therefore, I am again going back to the fantasy world. So this is the statement that he made. I repeat it. Sir, I have used everything that is available in this world. And by using any stuff, any product, whether legal or illegal, it takes us to a fantasy world for some time. The maximum time is 32 hours. And after that 32 hours, we are coming back to the real world. And when we come back to the real world, it's a big struggle. And it is difficult to be in this real world. And we again go back to the substance to get into that fantasy world. So I was hearing such an explanation for the very first time. So I too was amazed. I asked, little, what happened to you? So he shared his experience with me. When he was in 8th standard, he was studying in a well-known school in Ernakulam. He was from a very reputed family. His mother is a officer in excise department. His father is in a good position in other sector of government. And he had an elder sister, very rich family, very financially sound family, everything, studying in one of the most standard school in Ernakulam. So one day in 8th standard, when he was going on to his school, in front of the school gate, he saw some of his senior students of 10th or 11th standard. Now they were standing beside the gate and they were smoking cigarette. So when he saw this, he just had a curiosity within inside, and he just went on to that to his senior friends and said, "Can you give me a puff? I just want to test and know what is this." So they said, "Oh, you are a small guy. You are small. You just get out of here. Don't come here. What are you doing this? We are big enough to use this. You are small guy." So they threatened him and he went away. The second day again, he went to the particular place and they were again smoking. He again asked, "Just I need to know what is this. Just once, just give me once. I won't ask it again." They again said to him, why are you doing like this? We told you yesterday that you should not be a small guy. When you grow up, you can try this and all. Just move away." He went to the school, came back. Third day, he again saw them doing the same thing. He asked the same question. "Can you just give me once? I am so curious about it. I just want to know how does it feel having a puff of cigarette." They said that we will tell your parents, we will inform your school class teacher and all, and there was a fight between them and he just went inside. But on that particular day, the third day, as he came out of the school, he just searched the place that they were smoking and he found a small piece of cigarette, a big bud and a small portion. And he was so excited and he was so happy and he took it and went to his home. His parents are in work, there is no one at home. A well-off family, there is no matchstick even. He lighted the gas stove, burned the cigarette, and he took first puff. And as he took the first puff, he started getting trouble in his chest. He started coughing. And he just got a bit panic. And his curiosity got over by that time. But the next thing that developed in his mind was, if my seniors can use it, why can't I? If they can take and bring out, in a cloud manner or in a, different styles, if they can put out the smoke, why can't I do it? And there was some other attitude inside of him. He took a 10 rupee from his mother's bag. Went next day to the school. As he was returning back, he bought a piece of cigarette, came back, and he lighted it. First he started coughing, slowly he started using it, and at last he learned to smoke cigarette without coughing. And then he started doing as his seniors did, making circles, making cloud. He started enjoying it. Slowly, as days passed by, he started using it daily. Then he went on to try alcohol. Then he went on slowly to marijuana, then other types of drugs. And he shared with me, "Sir, within these 4 or 5 years, I have traveled to Goa, where the synthetic drugs are easily available, and I have used everything that And that is the conclusion that he is making. I have used everything that is available there, and I have come to a point that we can be in the fantasy world for 32 hours maximum. Then we have something that there are some natural herbs available in the Himalayan region, and we went to Shimla and other places and we used some other stuff, and that too for some hours. But the trouble that he is having right now is he does not know to live in this real world, or he does not know to survive in a normal condition. He needs some sort of drug for every second of his life. So he was a very intellectual student. His IQ was very good. He used to score 95 plus in every standard till 8. Slowly his grades start coming down. No, he was a very good guitar player. He was a very good drum player. He used to sing western vocals. He lost his sound. He lost his passion. He was a good player of law and tennis. He was going to be selected to the state level. He lost that drive also. He lost everything. His parents, his friends, his skills, his talents. He just got immersed into drug. And he's in a condition that he wants to get out of it, but he's unable to come out of it. So this is what is called addiction. Nobody goes into addiction pre-planned, but the substances that are available takes you slowly into that condition. Nobody tries a puff of cigarette or a peg of alcohol or a syringe or something else that is available, thinking that I should be an addict within this much of year. No. But this substance slowly, and even without a person's knowledge, makes him an addict. So this is the danger that is in front of us. So normally we use a statement called avoid the first puff and the first peg, because it is not a thing to play with. It is not a thing to experiment. It is not a thing to test and try and just put an end to it, because you cannot predict when a person will reach to addiction, or when a person will develop slowly getting slave to it. So the sad part of the story is that once a person becomes an addict, he will be an addict till his death. If addiction is actually a change in the brain chemistry, and it happens slowly, and all the people who use substance does not move on to addiction. Out of 10, 7 surely moves into addiction. And these 7 are addicted till their death. So addiction, if you get into addiction, if a person gets into addiction, and after some time he's having a sort of thinking that I should get out of it, and he comes out of it, and he keeps himself so much for some time, and if he again tries the same thing, he will slowly use the substance without control. That is the saddest part of the story. Once an addict is forever an addict. So that's why a total abstinence is the only solution for addiction. So 2 things that you need to understand is that the level of tolerance. So as I said, the 1 puff becomes 2, the 1 puff becomes 2, 3, and because the first time you get a feel with the same amount, you won't get it the second time. With the same amount, you won't get it the third time. You have to increase the amount slowly, because you need to have that amount. But as time passes by, there comes a situation that you just do not get any feel, but you cannot survive, or you cannot move ahead without this. You become a slave, or you become an addict to that particular substance. So earlier, this substance, alcohol, cigarette, and everything is available from years and years back. But earlier, it was something that was, people used to do it in a hidden manner, or it was not publicly accepted law. Now, if there was someone in the family, he will do it secretly. If there is someone in society, but today it is as socially accepted matter among all of us. Maybe earlier the college students were using this substance or alcohol or cigarette or whatever it is, but today it is even available among the school children. So it is becoming easily available, and more than that, today this substance is becoming a source of income, because if you hand over a particular packet to a particular place, they will pay you for it. And slowly, to earn money, many young people, many teenagers fell in this trap. And unknowingly, they come to a situation where they remain helpless, where they become thrown out of family, where they remain as they remain as people who create public nuisance around. Recently, earlier it was as Peterson said in the survey, it was more prominent among males or boys, but today it is even very common among girls also. The last day, 2 weeks back, in a nearby town called Poli, one of the school teachers called our director and asked for help, because they found out that among about 12 of the students in 9th standard, girl students in 9th standard, were found publicly smoking in that Poli town. 9th standard girls publicly smoking in the Poli town. So this is becoming a real threat in our society. So when we use a substance, any substance, it affects in two ways. Either it takes your mood to high, or it takes your mood to low. So if a person is taking in a low mood, it will make your mood bit more low, and if a person is taking in a good mood, it will make your mood bit more high. So in between there is a range called normal, and that normal rhythm or normal path cannot be maintained by people who use this type of substance. So what is the result at the end? The result is the people, young people get into accidents, there are legal issues, there are social issues, families end up in divorce, children start stealing, many of the women are left behind as widows, children are left as orphans, parents lose their young children, young boys, young girls, people become more lazy, and most of the time they become more aggressive. So for an awareness, let me give you a brief description about different types of drugs that are available in our society today. So there are mainly 5 categories of drugs. The first is called narcotic analgesics, that is called different drugs as painkillers or opium or morphine, something like that are available in a very restricted manner in a medical store, maybe particularly by a prescription of a doctor only. But these tablets or these medicines, if misused, make you an addict to it, and it normally creates a drowsiness, a mental clouding, and that normally creates a feeling that you are in some other world. As I said, the story of that particular young guy, you go to a fantasy world where you are not aware of what is happening around you, and you just keep on floating in that condition maybe for some time. And as the effect of that particular drug comes to an end in your body, or it gets minimized in your body starts showing various withdrawal symptoms like restlessness, irritability, yawning and all, that you are not interested in any of the things around. The second type of drugs available for us is stimulants, and the major product of it is the term that we commonly have heard called cocaine, and it creates a euphoria or a up mood that you are in some other world, a grandiose feeling that you can do anything. There is no one to control you. You are having some supernatural power. You are someone great. There is no need to respect anyone. There is no need to be submissive to anyone. You get so aggressive towards everybody, and and it results in chronic sleep problem. Then you lose your appetite. Then there are mood swings in between, and the results go on like that. The third group of drugs that is available in today's society is depressant, and alcohol is one of the most common drug known among it. And alcohol, as I said, results in two different ways. Either it will take you to a low mood that you are crying spells. You just start making noise. You get a grief within you. You just think that you are having no hope. There is no one to help you, and you just a person thinks that you should end up his life because there is nothing. Or it will take you into a manic stage where you get violent. A person can use abusive language. A person can do some public nonsense or physical abuse, and resulting in a great harm. So, as part of the withdrawal, if a person quits it very easily, he starts having anxiety, he starts having sleep disorder, and then delirium, or he starts losing his memory or whatever things he did in the past. And the fourth group of the drugs that is available is hallucinogens, and the common thing that we have heard about is called LSD or meth or something like that. These are basically chemicals, and it is a very small amount of it resulting in a destructive manner for the whole functioning of a particular person. Method, small crystal like sugar, and it is maybe 4 or 5 pieces of that crystal. If you swallow it, or if a person take it in any means, maybe through a tea or through water or something, he will slowly get addicted with that. The next time he will reach to that particular place to have it again. So this is the biggest trap that many of the youngsters are taken into the world of drug. Now people call friends to have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. They may just dip their finger in that, and if that person sitting on the opposite side takes it, he will have some feeling of euphoria or a good mood, or a up mood, and thinking that the world is under his feet, he can do anything, and he enjoys that for some time, and the next day, in that particular time, he himself requests to that person, come on, let's go and have the tea or the coffee at that particular cafe or particular tea shop, without knowing that he is slowly getting into addiction to that particular substance. LSD is just in the size of a stamp that is easily available. If you keep that strip particularly inside your tongue, it will have a slow effect, and slowly you will get addicted to it. So this all creates major psychiatric issues called hallucinations or delusions, that you get out of this world, you get out of your control, and you start behaving in an abnormal way. that can be smoked or inhaled in different manners. So these are all the types of drugs available around us. So when a person starts using it, he is not aware of it, or what it will happen or how it will happen. But when he starts to quit it in a particular moment, that creates various withdrawal symptoms called sleep disturbance, nervousness, convulsion, or some have issues called fits or seizures. Some have hallucination, then delirium tremors, and many people know because of that restlessness they think of ending up their life. So, in the midst of this, how can we help people? How can we reach out as seminarians or the ambassadors of God in this generation? So, the first thing that we have to do is identify the particular problem, or have a keen observation over the individuals that you come along in your daily life. Maybe as you go to minister in church, or maybe as you travel in a bus, or maybe when you move out or stand in a public place. If you find out these types of issues or these types of people with some struggle inside of them, try to identify their problem. The second thing is, to ability to listen. This world is so busy that people have no time to listen, or there is a great lack of listeners in this world. People want to share it with someone. People want to convey this with anyone, but there are only few to listen. So be an active listener. Sit along with them. They may be sharing something that is happening, the struggle that they are going through, the trouble they face when they are trying to quit it. Just listen patiently to them. Have empathy with them. Sympathy does not make any sense in helping people with addiction, because if you get sympathized with them, you will too start getting into their mood or get in trouble. But have an empathetic approach. Understand them as they are. They are really intact. They are really helpless. A helping hand can bring them out of their condition, can help them survive in this world in a better way. Have a non-judgmental approach. Normally, we have, if we see an addict, we say that he's drinking, he's using. But let me tell you, none of the person who is an addict has been into this situation pre-planned or thinking that I will be in this particular situation after so many years or something like that. But he's really in a trap. So have a non-judgmental approach to help him come out of this. Then another thing that we need to have is that we should be patient to listen to them, to give help to them. So patiently listening itself will give them a great relief. So the thing that we need to understand that if they are in a deep addiction, counseling or a mere psychological support cannot help them to come out of it. They may need a de-addiction treatment itself or de-addiction program itself. So what is de-addiction is, de-addiction goes in two manners. First is detoxification. That is, their body have a amount of drug, and when that amount of drug starts diminishing or starts decreasing, the body itself starts asking for that again. This is called physical withdrawal. So when that physical withdrawal comes, many of the addicts, they go and find a solution that using it again is the only solution. But using it again will make them again trapped in that particular situation. So for getting out of this physical withdrawal, the thing that they have to go through is detoxification. And during that detoxification, that may take 1 week or 2 week time, their body completely gets out of this phenomena called physical withdrawal, and the body does not compel them to go and use drug again. But the other portion is the psychological withdrawal, or the behavior psychotherapies, and intense help at different phase of their life. So, taking this together will lead them to recovery. So, as ministers of God, as the future of the church of tomorrow, as the responsible persons of society, what we can do is that we can, first thing we need to understand is that addiction does not happen in a day. Nobody plans and becomes an addict. It happens, without their permission, without their knowledge, slowly because of the lack of awareness. So first thing that we need to create is an awareness among the people as a preventive means. Speak to the people, tell them the threat that they can go through if they get addicted to this. Because it is not a thing to play, it is not a thing to experiment with, it is not a thing to have fun with. So, creating an awareness can be a preventive means to protect the people who are not yet to drugs or not yet used or be an addict to it. And if there is a person as an addict in front of you, try to help them out, listen to them, be a good listener, have an empathetic approach, patiently deal with them, speak with them, and try to reach out with a helping hand that we are with you. You are not alone, we are with you. Don't be judgmental, because when we study about Jesus Christ, he was not judgmental with any of the sinners of that time. He accepted them, he took hold of them, he embraced them, and all of them came out of the particular struggle that they were going through. So as ministers of Christ, we need to embrace them, hold them on, and bring them out of these difficult times. And I will pray and wish that God may use you to reach out to these people by awareness and by helping, and that we may be true witness of the kingdom of God in this generation. May God